No.
Almost.
Yes.
Now we are. Now you got it right.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Happy holidays from the gang here at Chief Experts. And we're looking forward to talking to you today and having a little bit of, sorry, there's no peace here. Having a little bit of fun in the process. So I hope you're having a great holiday season. I know we are here and we're looking forward to doing some crazy things. I'm currently working on a giant gingerbread house. What are you guys doing?
A gingerbread house. Oh my gosh. I want to see.
It looks like it's in its foreground.
Oh, that's not the gingerbread house. That's just my festive decorations.
I love it.
Nice.
Those are very nice.
yeah,
This is my festive. This is my festive decoration right here.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
I like
But
it. You've got an elf. You've got an elf right there. That's great.
I do. I have my own little private elf. He's my little special one.
Yeah, that's cool. John,
Hey, everybody.
John's just partially here and partially not.
He kind of fades in and out. It's that beautiful piano, though. I love it.
Yeah. And Renee,
it's fabulous.
Staring off into space as usual.
Yeah. I gotta say hi. Someone signed up for a membership on my YouTube. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Good stuff out of that.
So Concept Design, you're from in the Pacific Northwest. Where are you from? Where's Concept Design from?
Who are you talking to?
I'm looking on the chat and it said Concept Design, howdy from Pacific Northwest. Right there.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Concept Design, where are you from? Because I'm in Portland. Where are you? Type.
Yes.
Anyway,
I can't actively,
I know, right?
I'm from Oregon too.
Bellingham. Well, welcome.
My tree is in the way. I have to move my tree. Sorry, I have to go unfestive now.
Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty cold everywhere.
What are we doing today?
We are going to talk about some schedules and the tricks and techniques to making them rock your world. I know that for a lot of you, schedules are a confusing lot. They've got a lot of potential, but how do you use them? Where do I put them? And I think that among the team, especially with Robin and Renee, they've figured out ways to use schedules that will change your world, I think. So,
yeah, if I get maybe 10 minutes at the end, I'll probably go a little too advanced.
Yeah, so when I share with you guys, it's a little bit more simplified. And then when Renee shares with you, he just blows your mind. So as most of you know, I'm a kitchen and bath designer. So I have to write up real full-on specs, right? Now, I have a set of drawings here that are not a real project or anything. These were just something that I threw together. But I've really learned a lot about how to make my specs easier. I think in some ways, some things I'm going to show you I put in an actual schedule, but I actually think it's easier just to type it out, unless Renee has a magic wand for some of those things, which I would really love that. But most of the time, as I'm designing and as interior designers are designing, we're making decisions on materials and specifications, or materials and decisions are being made, right? So as I'm designing, I take that information, I put them directly into my plans so that when my specs are being written at the same time, because I don't know about any of you, but writing specs is probably my least favorite thing to do because it's tedious.
So much fun.
It's the part where it just takes so much time and you forget things and you have to do it in a very systematic way. So what I found is that as I make decisions, as I'm working, what I love about Chief is I can put all the information in there and then my specs are being written for me as I'm designing. It's great. The other thing I want you to be aware of is the more you're using the program to become more of a power user or becoming more efficient with it, you need to think about your rates. I mean, I honestly cannot tell you, Kevin had a meeting, or Kevin and Dan had a show the other day, and it was all about making sure you're billing properly. And actually that morning I woke up going, I have to raise my rates. Even before I logged into the show, I realized I'm too fast. I just did a whole house in 25 hours. Nobody should get, you have to raise your rates, because I'm making less money than I was making 10, 15 years ago. And that's ridiculous because now I have more experience, right?
Well,
So,
Renee and I have had this conversation over a cocktail before that at his current rate, his current speed rate, he would have to raise his rates to $1,000 an hour to keep up with it.
well, I
Yeah,
think
so
you're
there's a
right.
balance of, are you going to get hired if your rate's too high?
Right. So there's something that, but you still have to think about. I mean, absolutely true. I mean, at the point right now where I want to raise my rates is I'm going to be absolutely at the top in Portland. But, it's, I'm probably not going to go to the absolute top because I don't want that number. But I have to figure out how to make it so that way I'm not losing money because of my experience, right?
There's a whole conversation around that, obviously, that we can have and would always entertain about that. But the idea of a rate is a perception. It's and the idea of the value of what you're producing is what you're billing for. That value can't simply decrease because you got faster. That doesn't make any sense at all. The value is still what the value is. You're just effectively getting paid more per hour by being more efficient.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I need to really review how I'm invoicing, but that's a whole nother story. So it's a whole nother story. So like I said, one of the things that as I'm designing, I'm immediately adding information. And there are some things that I do that I think I could do some things a little differently. And that's where Renee's going to come in and share. So can I just go ahead and share my screen, you guys?
Please.
Okay. Aha, look at that. It worked.
Also, I'm just going to throw this on there. If you guys didn't know this, you could find that show. It's still in the live section.
There it is.
I really recommend that you guys listen to it because it's really good, and there's some really good points to ponder, right? So
on that, still on the commercial break, on that topic, the thing that you may not know was that occasionally 1, 2, 3 members of Chief Experts will do a kind of a pop-up webcast and on a particular topic. We each have our skills that we our particular fortes, and that particular pop-up, we were talking, Dan and I decided to talk about your value and the ways that you can improve the value of your services. So if that is of interest to you, and hopefully it is, go check out that link and watch that show.
Absolutely. It really was valuable. I enjoyed listening to it. So what I have on my screen are just some things that I do really believe that you need to do regularly, and that is make sure you're saving things to your library properly. So I'm really meticulous about my lighting. I am very, very picky about my lighting and what products I'm using. So I have actually saved recess can information into my library. And in that library, in those objects, I actually saved all of the information in here. So that way I know exactly what model number to write. I mean, I know the model number comes in.
For that fixture?
What's that?
Where are you saving that for that fixture?
I saved it in this. It's okay, Julianne. Right in my library. So in my library, right here, when I open up my library, I added this object. It's right there. So I added in this object. I created this object. I saved it. I put all the information.
Information panel. Cool.
Yes, in my object information panel, and I put all the information right here. And I do have custom fields that I added. So I want to know what kind of trim I need, what kind of lighting. Yeah, I created my custom field right here. It's called trim.
What's the custom field?
Oh, right down here. This is the coolest thing. So I create these custom fields, and in here I will have custom fields like amperage, which we need to put on our electrical plan for our appliances. The electrician needs to know that information. So I can immediately add that information right into my field. All I have to do is just type on it.
I'm gonna put a pause to you real quick. Will
Sure.
you Now you have amperage, but you didn't format it as a number, which is a new thing in X16. Can you?
Okay, hold on. Let me open this up. See, this is where we should all be doing this as soon as Renee says this. So under
True.
under amperage. Okay.
And by the way, you could do it in lowercase and then format it so that it's uppercase, so that you have the option to do either or.
No kidding. So the reason why I put it in caps is because that way I can find it in the catalog
You
better.
can find it. Gotcha. Okay.
Right. That's why I put it in the schedule, and I can explain that. But in the field name, you could actually, here's where I could have had that format as a number.
Yes. And so now when that reports to a schedule, that can be tallied as the total, as a row total, so that you could tally up all the amperage for all of your various fixtures if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't know that we need that. I could actually put the lumen output. Well, it's not even lumen output. It's the wattage in here. I could actually have a wattage thing, but nobody's asking me for that kind of information.
So go ahead and put a field value in there real quick for that fixture. I'm going to totally derail you.
Okay.
We're going off the rails. This is not planned. No, you're just going to put 20. That's it.
Okay, just put 20 in there.
Yep, it's got to be. Well, if you put 20 amp, the field value will actually come up with an exclamation mark saying that, hey, this is not a number.
Got it. Okay.
And then there you go. Go ahead and press OK.
Oh, just press OK?
Yep.
Okay. Now I don't have that in this in the schedule, so I can open the schedule and add.
Place it in the plan. Place that fixture in the plan.
Oh, got it. Right there. Hold on. If I can grab it and move my schedule. I'm not in plan view though. There you go. It was this one, and just put it in the plan. Okay. It's there.
Now here's the next thing I would have you do. This is a good one. Go ahead and get into preferences.
Are you all following the bouncing ball?
Totally,
yeah, this is the thing.
Following the bouncing ball. Get into unit conversions panel.
Unit conversions.
And you're going to add a new unit and call it amp. Yeah. And this one I would definitely do sentence case.
Definitely
so
AM.
Capital A and B, yeah.
Okay.
Now it doesn't matter what measurement type it is in this case, because you're just using it as a reporting value. So go ahead and just press OK. So we've now created a new unit that is an amp, and press OK again and get out of preferences. Now go check your schedule out. Which you could click on the here's a new trick in X16, by the way. Would you go back to plan for a second? Click on that fixture that you just placed. In your edit toolbar, the second to the last icon there, find schedule from object. That is so cool. I love that. Now open your schedule and add that custom field. So
and this is why I have it big, so you can actually find it in caps.
Yeah, so explain how you just did that part. We're in columns and rows.
Oh, so I went to columns and rows. Excuse me. Anything that I add, I put in all caps. Everything that's upper and lowercase is what the program has, and it's going to pull information from the materials schedule, so I can't find it. So I capitalize everything that I need, and then all I did was add it. And then I just hit OK, right?
And now you hit OK, but let's actually go back into it.
Okay. Go back into the catalog again. I don't think I had.
And then for select amp, and now see, this was the wrong one. This is the one that was not formatted as a number because it's not giving you a calculated total on the right hand side there.
Okay.
So you added one that was amp that wasn't a number format.
Oh, because I didn't do it right when I added that information in here. Because I had this amperage and it's not, and there's no way to go back on that.
Number. You can press cancel. I think you can. It's tough to get it from the catalog though. Will you go into?
You have to get it up here.
Default settings, schedules.
Got it.
Custom
and it's
fields. Custom object fields. Yeah.
And then amps.
Yeah, and go ahead and double click that or edit it.
And then format as a number.
There we go.
Got it.
Cool.
But so I don't know that I actually put that one in here because it's not showing up.
That's okay.
I don't think I put. What's that?
That's okay. Just open it up real quick.
Open this up. Okay.
Click on AMP again. There we go. So now we have that option over on the right-hand side to calculate total or some similar rows.
Nice.
Here's the next cool part of this is the left-hand side, we have a number formatting panel. So in your panels, yep. And then go ahead and click on AMP and you get to specify the unit. What unit are we going to specify it as?
So you can actually pull anything down out of here, but you would pull amps.
AMP, which we just created. And then you're going to change decimal places. Switch to decimal places and just set it to 0 probably.
Got it.
So there you go. Now you have something that's reporting amps and it will tally a total.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If you have to do that,
derailing you.
No, it works. No, you know what? I love that. Actually, just the fact of going back here to doing the edit just totally makes sense because sometimes I end up making more special things than I don't want. And then I forget to go back here to get rid of them, right? So you can come back in here into your schedules and get rid of them.
So
and that's really nice.
Hit done real quick and go into your schedule again.
Okay.
One of the greatest things about schedules, go ahead and get into columns, rows.
Yeah.
Is let's click on any item in the columns to include. So in your right-hand side.
Anything on the right-hand side.
One of the ones you already have. Okay. Yeah. We have our ability to rename whatever this is.
Yes.
So when I do custom fields, I have it that it's just number input 1 would be my amperage. And then in the schedule, I rename number input 1 so that I'm not building out a ton of custom fields across all my objects. I'm just, so that way, number input 1 could be amperage for an electrical legend, but input 1 could be, net free area in a foundation vent schedule. It's meaning I don't need to add all those custom fields. I'm just using one custom field and then renaming it in the schedule, if that makes sense. And I can go over that later.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So exactly, there's so much opportunities in the program, which I just think is fabulous, right? That's the thing, is the goal that I want to just share with people is that you can make your life easier, right? So in lighting, if I have something special that I use all the time or an electrical that I use all the time, I have this already set up and then I have it saved in my library. So in my library, and I have Renee's library in here, so it can be crazy. But in my my user catalog, I actually have my schedules in here, and I have my schedule saved, although I'm not there. There we go. So I have my schedules saved, and they're already set up. Okay.
Yes, we can, Alan. Yes, we can. Good question.
Oh, see, that's great. Okay, go to sleep. Sorry, you guys. I really apologize. My grandson comes here one day a week, and it's during this, so I absolutely apologize, you guys. Anyway, so here's the new ones that I really enjoy of creating schedules, and this was one that I learned a while ago and just thought this is fabulous, and it's creating a custom countertop schedule. So designers are constantly using, we do crazy things with the kitchen. So I was playing around with this design. I just kind of messed with it. And I created a custom countertop schedule, which I started using a lot more now. And what I have in here, now this is what I found you have to do, is so in this plan, I have my range wall elevation has one countertop, one kind of material on it. And then my island has another countertop on it. What you have to do is you have to save the countertop as a custom countertop. Once you save the countertop as a custom countertop, then you can start adding all the information that you want or that you need for your contractor, right? For your installer. They're going to ask you for all this information. They ask you what kind of finish, what kind of edge detail, how do you want the details done with it? and you can actually put all the information in here and create your own custom countertop schedule.
How do you make a custom countertop?
Yeah, this is easy. This is really fun. Yeah, you guys, I am so in love with this program. It has changed my life. I was an AutoCAD person for years, and I think AutoCAD is a great program, but oh my gosh, my specs were crazy. So this countertop is a custom countertop. And what I did was you select, right now it's a custom countertop. It's one countertop, but to do that, I'm going to go over here because this was easier. I'm going to delete the custom countertop off of this plan. So I'm just going to delete this and get rid of the custom countertop. It did not remove, oh, on this side it did. Nope, that's the custom countertop. I actually selected the wrong thing. Hang on a second, guys. Get rid of the countertop. Well, I deleted the cabinets. So I'm deleting the custom countertop right now. So these are now standard cabinets with their own countertop attached. To create a custom countertop, you just select, hold your shift key down and select all of the countertop, all the cabinets. Then at the bottom of your screen, you have this little, I don't have my Zoom thing on here, so I can't show it to you guys. But at the bottom of your screen is an icon that has a red top on it. And that is a custom countertop. Once you select it, you actually create, I think
You already did it.
I already did it. Yeah, let me undo that so that way it's back again. Let me make sure we have it back. Okay, one more time. There we go. So once you select all your countertops, your cabinets, then you push the button that is the red. I am just messing up, you guys. I did.
No, go forward twice.
Go forward. I don't know where I am now if I did too many of them. Oh, there.
No, you gotta go one more time forward.
one more time forward. There we go.
Yeah. It's still showing a countertop there.
I still don't have it. Let me see.
Just open a new plan, you goofball.
I'm so silly.
What she's trying to say, as she gets herself back together again, what she's trying to say is that a custom countertop replaces the automatic countertop that exists on the base cabinets. Once you do that, you can manipulate it in any way that you want to, including being able to set specific values for that particular countertop, which you can't do without changing the default on the cabinets themselves, or you've got to do it at a cabinet level. This gives you a very easy way of doing it.
Well, so we're here right now. So this little button on the bottom, it says generate custom countertop. You select it. Once you have a custom countertop, then you can select it. And now you have a field that allows you to have your object information. So now you can start filling out information in here and you can start saying all the things that you want with it. So now that I've deleted it a million times, I think I've lost most of my information. But, so whatever. So now you can go into it and you open up the countertop and now you have your object information and you can actually say where it is. So I have my location. I can type that this is my range wall. And I can add my cutout is that this is a slide in range. And I can write something like C specs for overhang. I can add information here. I can say that the edge detail is going to be an OG edge, right? I can add all this information and then it's going to immediately report to my schedule. Well, if I pull a schedule here.
You include those rows like you did earlier.
Yeah, and I do have that as long as you have them added into your schedule. So let me just pull the schedule up and I probably have too many schedules open now. But if I go to my countertop schedule, let me just pull it up here. And you can see that you can just immediately start adding that information in there. So I have all of that information. What I don't have in here, I have not added location. So I'm going to remove that.
Have you ever added the 2D symbol?
You can do that. You can easily add the 2D symbol.
It looks a lot like a rectangle.
It's going to look like a rectangle. Well, it's not going to look that.
Unless it's a corner or a shaped island or something like that.
So you can add that information.
It shows the sink cutout. Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. So in this one, it's not going to be great because it's actually two separate sections. So there's really, I don't find the need for that, because I actually will do a custom, if I'm doing a very odd countertop detail where I want to be able to show more information, then I'll do a countertop plan. So in this plan, I didn't do that, right?
Will
But
you open
otherwise,
the schedule up one more time? I'm going to show
what's that?
something. Open
Can
that
I do what?
schedule up one more time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, but you can actually even do, I have this
Could
set
you
up
open
to
the
do,
actual schedule real quick?
open up a brand new schedule?
No, open that schedule. Open it.
Oh, sure.
See how it's object preview options, scale images is unchecked at the very bottom there in the last section.
Right here.
Yeah. So you can use plan view scale. Go ahead and check that. And this will actually scale those countertops according to the size of them. And then you could shrink this preview down by, changing your row width.
Just change this.
Yeah. Well, that should have done it twice.
Not doing it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's not doing
if you open it up again and uncheck plan view scale, that might be.
Yeah, just take that off.
Yep. And now you should be able to shrink that row.
Now you can shrink it down. But
here it is.
I probably would not do that, Renee, because I would actually do this it's my world. Well, I don't even have it here because I wasn't playing with this plan to try to do this plan to be able to make this do that. It's my hold on a second, let me turn this off, turn my library off. Is I would actually do a countertop plan like this, and then I would put dimensions on it. So in this plan, I actually create custom countertop schedules, or a custom countertop plan if I'm doing something that's really crazy. This one is not set up. I didn't do anything with it because I didn't create this plan for this project, but I could add any extra information that I needed to just by creating a custom countertop plan view, right? And I do that a lot, especially when I do have a project where it was a really there were a lot of notes that the countertop people had to have. So I actually created a custom countertop plan, which was really fabulous. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy making the changes with this program. So the other schedule that I just recently did, I was working with a designer who has, this is crazy, I've never done this, but she was buying art for a client and she was moving, the client was moving, and they were hiring a hanger, somebody to come in and hang all the art. So what she did was she wanted to be able to create a plan for the installer to know what piece of art went in which room and where it went. So what she did was she did a material region on the walls, on every wall. She opened it up and she added the location. She added the size of the art and the name of the art and had it by room. And then the installer knew which wall to put it on because she would say it's on the west wall, the east wall, the north wall. And we created an entire art schedule, which I never even, I mean, she was like, how do I do this? It's like, okay, let's figure it out.
That was a good one.
It was great, right? Something that I would never do. Another designer said, well, what about furniture? Which that's crazy, but you could then say, oh, the green sofa that's 6 feet long, right? You open the object up, you call it a green sofa, 6 feet long, give it its name, tell it what room it needs to go into. And you could give that to your installer, your movers, and you don't have to stand there at the door going, here, this room, this room, this room, you know.
Why is she doing a material region as opposed to the actual art as a fixture?
So the way we were doing it is you just do a material region, then you apply the art to it.
Oh, that's how they're doing it. Gotcha.
Yeah. So they had the material region, they applied the art to it, and then they called it that.
Okay.
And it worked out well, but it was just the idea that you can actually create this custom schedule for something that's not something that's standard in the program. So the other thing that I do when I'm designing, and kitchen and bath designers are doing this because we never make a cabinet normal, right? I don't think there is a cabinet that we do that is standard. Most of us, you know, we start getting inside here and then we start adding accessories in, which obviously is not in that one. But we start adding accessories into all these cabinets, and I did have schedules in here with and information in all my schedules, and you're not seeing them.
Use that find schedule button.
Yeah, this one right
There
here.
you go.
So if we have the schedules, you can actually add all your information that the installer needs. Now this is something, oh, how do you add all your schedules on one page? You just send them to the same layout. So
well, I would back up and say we typically keep all our schedules in a CAD detail. I keep each individual schedule in an individual separate CAD detail.
Yes.
Can you tell us why you do that?
Oh, because you'll never find them. You will literally never find them. If you had 15 different schedules in this page, you'll never find them. You want to have.
You can always find your. Open your project browser real quick.
Yeah.
For me.
It's just a nightmare.
Not being able to find where your schedule is, which project you're working on.
It's this one here.
Close CAD details.
Okay.
Open schedules. There's all your schedules.
And you can just select that.
Yeah, you can always find all your schedules. You can do it that way.
So Renee, why do you then put each schedule on its own CAD detail?
Okay, so Robin, do you have your schedules placed in the exact same place in all your CAD details?
Yes. Ish. No, ish. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to a layout.
I don't have my 0 set like you do.
All right. Go to a layout. And go ahead and shut your project browser down.
Yeah, let me close that out. Okay.
That bottom schedule down at the very bottom. What is that one?
Okay.
I want you to here would be the reason for me, Larry, is that I keep these in individual CAD details. We're in layout right now. We're not in plan, and I want to work efficiently. I need another schedule on this sheet. Let's say that the appliance schedule wasn't on this sheet yet, and I want the appliance schedule on the sheet. Yes, I could go back to plan and go try to find my appliance schedule and then send it to layout. But something that to me is a lot more cohesive and it works in the flow of what I'm doing because I'm in layout right now and I'm compiling my sheets is go ahead and hit the copy paste button, Robin.
Okay. Okay.
And then drag the center handle over. This is how I would do this. Yep. And now hit relink and show where that is in your toolbar. Kind of do it slowly, maybe.
Oh, it's down here.
So that's the relink button. So we're relinking. What this does is we get to point to something else in this case, right?
So you could actually put plumbing here.
Finishes, etc. Now, it does look like Robin has her schedules placed in the exact same place, more or less. So, if you do have them placed in the exact same place and they're all the same width, now it's just a matter of relinking and suddenly your schedule's in the perfect spot. You don't need to move it around. But Chief also has some tools where you could hit the center button on this layout box now and center that schedule without editing the layout box.
Which is this one?
No, it's the second to last one. That's the...
Oh, this one. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
There you go. So that centers that in the view. Another thing that we could have done, go ahead and delete that one that you that you're highlighted right now. Let's do that same process again. So copy paste, slide it over. And by the way, actually go ahead and delete this too. I'm going to show you one more trick here. Copy paste, but this time I want you to hold your S key, S as in Sam. And I want you to hold your right mouse button. You've rebound S to something else.
I did it too many times. Okay, so copy paste.
By the way, I would encourage anybody out there to not reassociate your S key with anything like Robin did. The S key for Sam is an actual internal hotkey for Chief Architect. What it does is it makes it so that you will not pick up any snaps when you're making a move of an object. So in case we're trying to slide this over orthogonally and not somehow get hit with some snap where it moves that box over, holding the S key will override that. So that's a really nice thing. And that's different from holding control. It's a very different function. But if we copy paste and right click, now we're no longer getting hit with all the angle snaps, but you're still picking up snaps.
Yeah. So you're right. Okay, so then you can move it wherever you want to.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more why S is different than control?
Control overrides all snaps, so we're no longer even bound in an orthogonal plane. So that's kind of the trick there. Another way of doing this is, so S just means we're not picking up any snap points, but we're still bound to like angle snaps and orthogonal directional movement.
Okay.
So it's different from control. Another thing you could do is copy paste, right click and hold shift, and that will help us bind in orthogonal lateral movements. Anyways, copy paste and move this over.
Okay.
And then let's hit the relink again and pick a different one, but don't press OK yet.
Okay.
This time, see where it says keep layout box contents position when relinking?
Uh-huh.
So if we don't have our item in the same XY space in our CAD detail from one CAD detail to the next, if you uncheck this, Chief will try to automatically center the contents of your box when you relink it.
Kind of, yeah. It's just not big enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Not tall enough and everything, but it's good. It's a good thing to be able to be aware of. Yeah, that's cool.
So did that
answer the where we save our schedules and how do we get them all in?
Well,
did
you address why you keep them in individual CAD details as opposed to grouped together?
This would be a reason for me is one, we can get a layout box label that is specific to the CAD detail. So if we went into this schedule and decided to not show the title of the schedule at the top bar there, which says appliances in this case, we have the option to not show that label. And so instead we could have the layout boxes label, and the layout box is what's selected right now. That's what Dan Bowman calls the viewport to our CAD detail in this case. If we wanted to, we could turn on labels for this layout box label, and it will pick up the label for what we name this in our CAD details.
So what you're saying is by keeping them in their own independent CAD detail, it's providing you a further level of granularity to be able to control what you want to do with the results. Is that fair?
Yeah. And another reason for this is that if you've ever considered doing a warehouse plan, what we call a warehouse plan, which would be a separate plan file that has a bunch of details that we use over and over again for a project, and it's not necessarily pulling information from its plan file that we need. So let's say that we have a set of CAD details that we want to use that doesn't need to be in our active plan. And let's say one of those warehouse details is for slab on grade. Another one of those warehouse detail plans is for stem wall construction. That means as long as the CAD detail name is the same, we can just swap those out just by changing the reference plan being used in layout. That's a little bit advanced. You'd have to go over that, but there's quite a few reasons to do this. How about this? Just keep your schedules in separate CAD detail.
It just makes it easier. Just do it. Just do it. So Renee, let's go back to something.
Right under Renee's name, it says, "Trust me."
Absolutely. No, seriously, that's what you need to do is just trust this one and actually just do that. Just keep your CAD details, your schedules in different CAD details. It will honestly save your life for being able to find what you need when you need it. But
great question from Douglas Moore.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
It will update.
Yes.
Yep,
it will automatically update. So Renee, here's the point that I do want to get to is one of the things that you have said, and I absolutely agree with it, but I lost it off of my plan, was finding 0, 0. So the point of finding 0, 0 on your plan, so when you start drawing, so if you open up a new plan, you should have a point here, which, it does, I don't think that's 0, 0 though. It's not. How do you find, so this is something that makes it easier for when you're sending drawings to your layout so they're all on the same plane so things don't jump around. So like your schedules, they all show up in the same line. How do you find 0, 0? And when you start drawing, do you start drawing from that corner? Is that always the corner of a house?
So
Is that how
Chief
you
has
start
0,
drawing?
0 at the bottom left of your drawing sheet, which to me makes no sense because you could change the drawing sheet size and now you're screwed.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah. So I have my drawing sheet at the center of 0, 0. And you can easily find it by getting into your CAD menu.
In CAD.
And under points, which is the first one.
Oh, first one, yes. Okay.
And then input point. And make it absolute location.
0, 0.
And then just hit next. Or I don't even think you need to hit next. You just press OK. You're probably right.
And that's 0, 0.
And
oh, I'm there.
Yeah.
So then, again, when you start drawing, is this always the bottom left-hand corner of your house? Or the top right-hand corner?
To me, that's 0, 0 from out of the default template. 0, 0 is the bottom left-hand corner of the drawing sheet if you had the drawing sheet turned on.
Oh, so turn the drawing sheet on, which is over here.
Middle of your right sidebar there. It's the one that looks like a white page with a white page outline. Nope, further down. Middle.
Further down.
Down.
Right there. Got it.
Yeah.
So then that's where the drawing sheet.
You changed your drawing sheet, so now 0, 0. What is it even doing? Not a whole lot. And 0, 0 is nice for referencing, just dimensions, measurements, everything.
Yeah, it's nice to have a center point that everything else can go around. Your cameras, everything else can center around a 0, 0. If the 0, 0 is in the center of a drawing as opposed to the bottom left corner. So you can, for instance, decide, like what I do is if I'm looking at cameras, the example I just chose, I will create a circle based on 0, 0. And I can expand or contract that circle, and I can place my cameras all around the perimeter of that circle. And I know I'm going to capture everything in that drawing as opposed to having to figure out where they go based on the bottom left corner. So I can expand or contract that circle, whether I'm working on a 2-bedroom rambler or whether I'm working on a palace, and it's always at the center of the drawing.
Yeah.
So here's what I'd like to do is how do you move, because there's enough questions, how do you move the drawing sheet to 0, 0?
So a point, you can snap off of a point. So you could select the drawing sheet and do center and center it about that point if you wanted to.
Just center, and that's where you do it?
You're not going to be able to do a point-to-point center because I don't think you can grab. Oh, were you able to grab the center?
Yep, grab the center.
Now check this out. Change your save plan view real quick, which you don't have it same. Oh yeah, architectural half is where your save plan view.
So change my save plan view. Okay.
Yeah. And that kept the drawing sheet in the same place.
It's all right there.
Where the drawing sheet does not move.
My quarter inch changed. That all changed.
For every saved plan view, you have to go now move that drawing sheet and
so
save it as a new template.
So hold on, and then you just save it as a template.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to do is just select it and then find your center and then just move it where you need it to go.
Yeah.
Okay. I was able to do that. And then you save your plan view and then you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. So
questions, guys.
Hey, John.
I have never used a drawing sheet. So am I missing something? Is there a reason to use
it? It helps when you have your drawing sheet. How do we set our drawing sheet up for our print size, right? That's in print preview. You pick the drawing sheet size. It helps for one, a lot of people that do new construction, it really helps them visualize the size of their home that they're designing, and so that they're not blowing out scale, because it's just a nice visual marker to understand, hey, I've drawn 1 million houses on an ANSI D size sheet size. As soon as I start hitting these boundaries, this house is too big. So it's kind of used as a visual cue in a way. And then also it does help me organize and understand very early on in a project if I need to size my drawing sheet up from the start of the project, so that I'm making sure that I'm designing for the correct sheet size before I start sending stuff to layout and finding out later, shoot, I got to change the sheet size, and that's a ton of work to then go change all of the composition on the sheets.
Got it.
Would be my main things for that.
So Alan asks, can we change the CAD? Can we view CAD details as a gallery?
Here, I'll put my screen up for a second.
Okay.
You kind of can, but you have to do the work to do that. You're just going to send all your details, in this case, to a plan or to a layout, and you could just use it as a boilerplate layout. But these are all individual details that are being sent. So it's not a gallery per se, but it's certainly a detail sheet where these are all linked to something, and I could relink them to something else, or slide them over or do whatever. So, I mean, that would be an example of that.
I've never checked this out, but you can save your schedules to the library now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Do they update in the library?
No, you have to put them on your plan, and as soon as you put them into your CAD detail,
first.
they update.
No, which is kind of the bummer, right? You definitely have to keep it organized.
Well,
I have a few in here, and I mean, if you're ever wondering about finding schedules very quickly, is you can just type in schedules. If we look at this, and Chief now has this as a type, right? So we can just limit our searches by type, which shows schedules. And now it's really easy to find the schedules that I've built here. And this is one that I've got where it's, this is probably more advanced, but it's building out and telling me what's my concrete footing volume and stem wall volume of concrete. So you can use schedules as calculators. This would definitely kill some time to explain how this was done, though.
But the whole point of just the idea of schedules and saving them into your library is you create the schedule one time. You create all the information you need in there. If you have a custom field, you create that custom field, you save it to your schedule. The schedule's already made. So now as you're working and you add information to an object, that information is automatically being sent to that schedule. So as soon as you send that schedule to a CAD detail, the information is there, and your specs are being written as you are designing. And that's the point that I really want to make, is that you really need to take the time to create a schedule. You create a schedule for whatever it is you create it, save it, make it the way you want it to be, put all the information in there the way you want, save it to your library, and now you have this, it's done. And now as you're designing, you're adding information and your work is done. And that's the beauty of this program, and that's the beauty of understanding schedules and working with them. So that's, I can't even stress it enough. Like I say, writing schedules or like writing specs are, I don't know very many people who really enjoy doing it.
Oh, but I got a trick for you, Robin. This would be in the case that you have a dummy plan file to create a dummy schedule. But it would be like a spec schedule, which would be that, let me just place a toilet in here, and maybe I'll place a sink fixture, and I'm gonna drop in some kind of fixture schedule, right? And then in the fixture schedule, I want to add that 2D symbol. Let me press OK. So it shows us our 2D symbol. What ideas does this give you if you wanted to do a true spec setup here and you didn't care about the plan representation?
Come here. No.
Any hints? Oh, she's preoccupied. So
well, actually, you know what though? So here's something that's nice about it. I don't spend a lot of time trying to find the exact model in there, because I don't know, Chiefs, sometimes the models aren't what I need it to be. I have a toilet that I use all the time, and I created my own toilet. Toto is not in here. They do not have a Toto toilet. So I have a Toto Aqua 4, exactly the model number with the slim seat. I have one saved with the slim seat. I have one saved with all the different models that I use. So it's all set up for me. Again, that same thing is set up for me. I don't.
All right, well, so I'm gonna show you a trick. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and edit the CAD detail of this toilet, right? And so we've got, here's our toilet line. I can grab all this and, I don't know, I could delete it, or I could turn it into a blank line style if I wanted to. By the way, if people didn't know this, I always like to mention this. You can hover over something like this, just hover over this and scroll mouse wheel down, and it will scroll through your options.
Oh, I did not know that.
In case you didn't know that, yeah. And then I'm going to just...
Renee doesn't sleep, you guys, just so you know. He doesn't sleep.
I'm just going to paste in something here that's going to represent the spec of my toilet and make sure that it's in front of our drawing sheet, right? And then close this down and make sure it's saved everywhere, all instances. And now take a look at my schedule.
You have a real picture.
If you wanted to, you could show all your fixtures as like the representative graphic fixture from the manufacturer. If you're a designer and really, wanted to show this, this is a pretty common display where we're showing an actual image of our finished item. And then of course, we know that we can come in here and scale images or use plan view scale to kind of row this up if we wanted to make that much larger.
Nice. So Cottage Keeper, if you need some support, you can reach out to pretty much any one of us who can help you through creating up your own schedules. If you want any one of us, you can reach out to us and we're happy to help you with setting up your own schedules to make it work. Okay.
I don't know if we have any coursework amongst us, and I don't even think Chief does.
We don't.
They have
a great idea. It's a great idea.
I do spend a lot of time. If you're an interior designer and you're not doing some of the crazy stuff that Renee does, you can come talk to me. If you want to do the crazy stuff, talk to him. Probably the easiest way to just say. But yeah, if you need some support, Jennifer, reach out to me. I mean, I know Jennifer, so if you need some support, just reach out to us and we're happy to help you out through this so that way you can get it done and it can be customized to what your needs are. That's the thing about it, is everybody works a little differently. You can actually even put your specs, you can actually put a link to your specs in your schedule. I don't do this, but you can put a link to your specs in the schedule and then it will become live when it becomes a PDF.
That's absolutely true. Let me show that real quick.
But I don't, and here's the reason why I don't do that is I don't add, hey, Becky Sue, how are you? I don't do that because when I'm doing my design work, which I think a lot of interior designers are doing, you'll have like the refrigerator spec open and you're designing, right? And you're grabbing information from that refrigerator and you're putting it into your plan. I then save it and put it in my file and I send that as a separate PDF to my contractor because they don't want to have to click here and open this up. They want it easy. So that's the way I do it.
All right. Let me just show this real quick though. So we've got some kind of custom field, which Robin showed us how to do that earlier. By the way, we oftentimes call the object information panel OIP. So when we're talking about OIP, that's what we're referring to. So putting in a custom field, I like to use a generic custom field. That way I can reuse it across different schedule types. So macro input 1 is my generic custom field. And then I have a link to something here. Now this doesn't have a www, which doesn't always work out. Well, oftentimes you want something that's World Wide Web, as a prefix. And I'm going to press OK. Now it's not showing up in my fixture schedule because I need to add it. So I'm going to open up my fixture schedule. I need to go find that custom field, which macro input 1, I'll add that. We can see that shows up in columns to include. I'll go ahead and rename this link. That's why it doesn't matter what you name your custom field so long as you know what your input is, right? Anytime you rename something and in case you forgot what this was originally, you can always hit the reset button here and it will reset the name. So in case you get confused about where that information is coming from. Let me press OK. Now it's going to include that link in our schedule. Okay. A couple things we can do with schedule that's maybe a little bit more advanced. Sometimes you need to have this report to some kind of database that you're using internally with your company. We can absolutely do that in case you didn't know this. We can export this text as various different types, including a CSV file. So if I export this as a CSV file, then I can actually open that in my external editor. And now that's in an Excel sheet in this case. So something just to note. Now, the next thing is I'm just going to print this. I'm not going to send it to layout. It's kind of the same function. I'll just print this individual page as a PDF. And so I'm just doing this quickly, mind you, just to illustrate the point, but we'll just call this live link so I can find it. And then that opens up in my default PDF viewer. And you can see here, as I hover over this, we're in Adobe Acrobat right now. This is now a live link. So when I click on this, and it's going to tell me it wants to go to some external site, there it goes. It's popping up that linked item. So there's my toilet monster. Bam, you can get that for $30.
We should talk about the summit a little bit because we're all
time. You got 5 minutes. Do it. Actually, before you get into that, I want to mention something that someone, let's see, Bill Murray mentioned this earlier. So this is a good one to note. This was something that came up this year that we had to go. We had to go file for what was this called? Beneficial ownership report was what they were making us file if you had an LLC prior to 2024. And so Bill is saying that this is unconstitutional. We don't have to do that. Great.
Check it out for yourself.
Check it out.
I don't know what that is. Can you repeat that just real quickly? I know you were telling us to
Google BOIR, and
I will.
In case that was something that was on your list of things you had to do. Maybe you get to take it off your list.
So far, a judge has ruled it unconstitutional. That doesn't mean that it's going to hold. But
we got to fact check, Bill.
Yeah, fact check. So the summit.
Everybody fact check yourself.
We wouldn't have done our jobs if we didn't talk about the summit. So we're going to spend a couple minutes talking about the summit, and I don't know if any of you have visuals up for that, but
I'm getting it.
Yeah, at this point, you've got to know that it's coming. It's not coming till the middle of March, but it's something to look forward to. And those of you who are on the fence, if we can nudge you over by telling you that things like what we just went through, that kind of thing is available to you at the summit. And while we're there, our time is free. So, you have the opportunity to come talk to us about pretty much anything that is of interest to you, and know that it'll be taken care of either through the sessions that we hold or through one-on-one type time that you just want to carve out, or have it over a glass of wine late at night, chit chat, whatever. Do we have the ability to actually play those testimonial videos while we're showing that screen? You can see the enthusiasm of the people who were there. These videos, these testimonials were taken during the time that we were there. And these are, these are really interesting to see, because you can see the benefit that people are getting directly from those people. Those are not actors, those are real people. So,
some of these pictures look staged. That doesn't look staged. This is ADD brain happening right there. Yep.
Renee, you always have ADD brain. It is amazing.
So the main thing about it is that there are seats available, and will be until we run out, at which point there are no seats available. So come see us, come check out the summit. If you have any questions about it, any of us can answer those questions. But I think several people who are on the call today who would reflect that it's well worth your investment. So
absolutely.
And with that, we are wrapping up. It's 12:58 Central Time. Does anything have anything
questions we had to pick up?
Yeah.
John, we got
Richie's going to make.
Yeah, I just got an email from AIBD talking about that BOIR thing. So make sure you do your own due diligence on that and decide what you want to do with it.
Okay. Jennifer Hyman, no such way of doing that right now. So you'd have to do a little bit of double work. It's not a ton of double work, especially if you save these items in your library as your spec schedule and build a separate plan that is your spec schedule. But it is double work. You'd have to place those individual items to build out a graphic spec schedule. It's less work than going to like Canva or design files or something like that once you have it built out. So it's a lot less work, but you do have to set that up in the first place.
Alan's saying the BOIR is a pretty easy thing to file for yourself, only took him about 5 minutes. So it's an obligation the way it was written up until we heard this today. So just check into it and see.
Nice. Anybody going to KBiz? We'll be there. Some of us will be there. So come say hi. I usually spend all day Wednesday at the Chief Architect booth if you want to come say hi and talk shop.
Becky Sue, it is, if I could just say, Becky Sue, it is so close to KBiz. I totally get it. But I would almost hate to say this to you. You would probably, I think KBiz is great. I don't necessarily believe that most of us have to go every single year. I mean, for the parties and for getting together with your friends, KBiz is great. But I don't think we need to go every year, honestly. I think you're going to get more from the summit, to be very honest with you. Becky Sue, you'll get so much more from the summit.
Cassidy says that it far exceeded her expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, what did KBiz or Summit?
Summit.
The Summit.
Oh, we saw Cassidy.
But Becky Sue, if you want to chat about it, I actually sent you a message via FaceTime or Facebook. So if you want to chat, I'm happy to chat with you about it and about schedules. So just reach out.
Margaret's coming back. Cassie, you coming to KBiz and Summit? Is Cassie on our Summit list?
I don't think Cassie had another event she's got to be at this year. Something for
but she's going to KBiz. So Cassidy would be great to hook up with you there. See you again.
Yeah, Cassie, come by on to Chief's booth on Wednesday. Say hi, please. Cool. We miss anything else?
So yeah, it'd be great. Oh, Richard, it'd be so much fun to see you. I'm sorry you're not going to make it this year.
It's too bad. Can't hang out in Atlanta with you either. So that's
all about setting the bathroom or other kinds of things.
We wouldn't be having any chicken though.
Jason Moore, I'm going to answer this verbally. You can edit your bounding box of your symbol. You'd open your symbol up, you'd get into the advanced panel, and you would change the bounding box spacing. And uncheck that your adjustments are going to change the geometry of the symbol. You'd have to check the bounding box spacing only, uncheck changing the geometry size, and then adjust your spacing. What that's doing is Chief places things based on the bounding box size, not based on the geometry size. So that will adjust the spacing of that item according to Chief, so that when you place it, now bumps will honor that new bounding box size. So if you need ADA clearances on all your symbols, you could go save them to your library, edit the bounding box spacing. Now it will honor that new spacing that you've set.
And to expand on that, you can do that with anything that you need, whether you commonly do it or whether it's a requirement like ADA standards. You can do that with anything to be able to size things without thinking about it. Just change the bounding box, bump into a wall, and you're there.
Yeah.
Create all your symbols as ADA symbols.
Yeah, and then be sure to save that into make sure you save it as an ADA fixture, and that way you have it again.
Dan wasn't here to tell me to slow down, so I made a mistake. I went too fast for this. But
you did a fine job.
Interiors, all I did, and this has to be in a separate plan, not one that you're going to be utilizing, sending your plans to layout. This is a separate plan, just to build that schedule. This is the only way to do this, is you're editing a symbol. So once you have a symbol selected in your edit toolbar, we have the option to edit the 2D CAD representation of that symbol. And we're just deleting the CAD that's within that new window that pops up and placing an image and then saving it. And so it's replacing the 2D representation of the symbol, and then we're adding the 2D symbol to our schedule. Cool. I got nothing else.
Well, you do, but
yeah,
that's not true.
And it is never ending. And we're forever thankful that you guys continue to come see us, tell your friends, get more and more folks watching. We'd sure appreciate it. And it seems like, we would eventually run out of things to say, but I think we've proven, especially those of you who have attended the summit, that we never shut up. So
what's
ISO? We tell each other to shut up.
Hold on. What's Becky Sue? I don't understand. What's ISO? I'm not good
In
at some of
search
these
of.
acronyms.
Get with the
Oh.
times.
If you want to come, I know I don't do those things. If you are looking at, thank you. If you're looking at wanting to share a room, there's always that option. So
yeah, there's
just
actually
reach out.
there are shared rooms available right now, actually. So.
There are definitely shared rooms. So Becky Sue, if you're interested, reach out to Dan, reach out to Dan, and he can share that with you. Okay, so absolutely, that is an option. It is available. And you have a great time. And seriously, once you're there, you don't pay for anything. Everything's included.
I mean, you got to pay it first.
Gotta,
all right, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, we do. We do. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time and your attention, and looking forward to talking to you on the 20th. Is that right? Yeah, the 20th. Okay. Bye, all.